Hello, it's Richard Daniel Curtis. I'm the founder of the Mentoring School, and I'm here to share with you a bit more content from the National Apprentice Mentoring Qualification. So one of the things we'll talk about on the course is the way that our relationship with others affects the way that we work and affects our attitude to work. And we'd like to consider it a triangle. So if we think of, the employer at the top of the triangle, the apprentice or employee even at the side, and also the task or the work or the job at the other side. Now, with employees particularly, we expect them to be internally motivated to do the task that they are set. With an apprentice, on the other hand, actually one of the things that we talk about is the fact that we would often need to, for doing the task, we'll need to then be considering how we reward them, how we encourage them to be doing the tasks. Likewise, if actually they have a good relationship with us, they will want to do whatever the task is, whatever the job is, because of their relationship with us. And can you see how that becomes a three-sided triangle? Now, if a young person, if an apprentice actually struggles with their relationship with other people, then what you'll find is that this side of the triangle will be missing. And so that apprentice won't necessarily want to work with or want to sit alongside or have conversations with people. And so from the point of view of us as mentors, when we're mentoring apprentices, for that person, then we would need to focus on doing a task with them in order to build a relationship. So actually we'd want to sit alongside them so that we are both looking at the same thing. Maybe it's going to be their coursework, maybe it's going to be a piece of work that they need to do, maybe it's going to be a poster or something that they're doing, maybe it's going to be a project or something they're working on. But the way to build that relationship with them is through focusing on the task. Now, actually, what can also happen is, rather than someone wanting to avoid the relationship, they may actually be really desperate to please you, maybe really desperate to build that relationship, to be liked, to be wanted, to be needed by that person. And so therefore, in those instances, actually they're almost dependent on having you around. And when you're not there, when you're in a meeting or something like that, you'll find their efficiency drops, or they're not so good at working. And the reason being is that actually, rather than being intrinsically motivated to do the task or the job themselves, what's happening is they are becoming dependent on that relationship with you. And so if that is the case, then actually if you want them to do something, then you are going to need to ask them to do something. You're always going to need to ask them and give them that instruction, give them that task to do in order to please you. And so can you see how that changes again the dynamic in that relationship? And finally, the last thing I want to cover here is it's also possible that some people are feeling so overwhelmed, so chaotic in their life, they're feeling so disorganised that actually none of those triangles exist at all. And so because they're so overwhelmed, because their life is so chaotic, they just want order, they just want calm. And so they're not necessarily worried about pleasing you, they're not necessarily worried about doing that task. For them, all they want to do is just sort out their life and deal with the chaos that is their life. And so for them, for that person, if actually you've got an apprentice who is just so overwhelmed, is so chaotic, is so disorganised, that you're struggling with this, then what you need to do is you need to help them to put in place routine and structure to their day. The more black and white that you can make their day, the more black and white that you can make the way that they work, the easier that they will find it. So I hope you found that interesting. We'll go into more detail on the course, but I hope you found that actually there's just a little insight into the way that our relationship with people affects our attitude to work and affects our approach to work. If you'd like to know more information about how to get the most out of your apprentices and how to increase their effectiveness, then please head on over to our website at www.thementoringschool.com/apprentice.